What does the Quran actually say about women? Not the verses critics quote out of context, the complete and honest picture. The fundamental equality. The Quran, chapter 33, verse 35, is one of the most remarkable verses in any religious text. It lists men and women together as equal recipients of God's favor, the Muslim men and Muslim women, the believing men and believing women, the obedient, the truthful, the patient, the humble, the charitable, the fasting, the chaste, those who remember God much. For all of them, God has prepared forgiveness and a great reward. Men and women listed equally, 12 times in a single verse. This verse was revealed when a woman companion of the Prophet asked, "Does God only address men in the Quran?" The verse came in direct response to her question. God answered her directly. On spiritual value. The Quran, chapter 3, verse 195 states, "I will not allow the deeds of any among you to be lost, whether male or female. You are of one another." Spiritually, a woman's deeds carry exactly the same weight as a man's deeds. No discount, no lesser reward, complete equality before God on the day of judgment. On marriage and treatment. The Quran, chapter 4, verse 19, "Live with them in kindness, for if you dislike them, perhaps you dislike a thing, and God makes therein much good." The command to husbands is not to demand obedience from wives, it is to show kindness. That is what God commands first. Before any other marital obligation, be kind. On the difficult verses. I will not pretend the difficult verses don't exist. Chapter 4, verse 34, about men being qawwam over women, is genuinely complex and debated by scholars for centuries. The word qawwam has been translated as guardians, caretakers, maintainers, protectors, not rulers, not owners, those who are responsible for. That distinction matters enormously and changes everything. The verse must be read in the context of 7th century Arabia, where men were the sole financial providers and protectors of the family unit. Many contemporary scholars argue the principle applies to specific historical context, not to an eternal fixed hierarchy between the sexes. On the whole picture. The Quran gave women rights in the 7th century that women in Europe were still fighting for in the 20th century. The right to own property independently, to inherit, to divorce, to conduct business, to keep their name after marriage, to choose their husband freely. Is every verse simple and without complexity? No. But the Quran's overall picture of women is one of fundamental dignity, equality before God, and rights that were genuinely revolutionary for their historical moment. Like if this changed your view, share with every woman you know. Subscribe, Truth Every Day. And if you want to go deeper on this topic, I have left a book recommendation in the description. I'm Noor. This is Islam with Noor. Thank you for listening.